This is Bailey Anderson bringing you yet another thing to blame George Bush for. Okay, so first of all, the first story has to do with zombies, and if you don't know what zombies are, I actually looked it up, and the second definition is a soulless corpse said to be revived by witchcraft, but the first definition was actually something kind of weird that I didn't see coming, and it was a snake deity of or deriving from West Africa and the Caribbean religions, but my definition is really a little bit more simple to understand. A living dead being whose vocabulary mostly consists of grunts and moans and is hungry for brains. Anyway, the point of the story here isn't to explain what a zombie is to you. The point of the story is that there was an English professor at Clemson University, Sarah Lauro, and she says that the obsession with zombies is not harmful, and it's not a fad, and it's not an unhealthy obsession with death. It's a historical trend, and this is actually really interesting to me because she thinks that zombie obsessions go along with cultural dissatisfaction and economic upheaval. So, simply put, when people get unhappy with the way that things are in their country, they start looking at zombies on the internet, I guess. Laura describes herself as a chicken, but she had to study zombies while getting her doctoral degree, and she said, "It's a labor, but I do it." There are a lot of people that looking at zombies and watching zombie movies and playing zombie video games wouldn't be such a labor for. But the one person that it is a labor for chose to write a doctorate paper about it. And now that zombies are a socially accepted thing, they're actually having events just about zombies. So they actually had a zombie mob. I'm not quite sure what that is, but that's what the Huffington Post called it. A zombie mob that originated in Toronto in 2003. And then they brought it to the U.S. in 2005 and it escalated. And along with the escalation of the zombie mob, there was anger about the war in Iraq. And the public didn't feel listened to during the Bush administration. So if you've got a friend that's obsessed with zombies, just blame George Bush. Along with the zombie mob, there was a zombie walk called the New Jersey Zombie Walk in Ashbury, New Jersey. And there were 4,000 participants. So there were actually a lot of people there. Lauro says that participants of zombie walks don't realize the statement that they're making. She says that what they're saying, in a sense, is we feel like, in one way, that we're dead. A new Stonehenge theory was developed by British researchers. Go figure. I think that's why they have the accents. You don't see American researchers coming up with anything like this. Anyway, the British researchers theorized that the Stonehenge may have started as a giant burial ground for elite families around 3000 BC. And they found cremated human remains from the site of the Stonehenge. But around 500 years before the Stonehenge as we know it was built, there was a larger stone circle that was built at the same site as a community graveyard. So it was about 500 years before this 3000 BC, and if you don't know about the BC years, they actually go backwards. So they started at a really high number and then they went down, and then when they got to 0, they went back up, kind of like negative numbers. Mike Parker Peterson claims that the cremated human remains were put into family groups, and he also studied the cremated bones of 63 people that were believed to be buried around 3000 BC, and they were originally marked by blue stones. And I'm not sure what blue stones are exactly, but they sound kind of like gravestones, except for maybe they were blue. The original structure, the one that isn't the Stonehenge as we know it today was around 300 feet across, and it could have been a burial ground for more than 200 people. Their theory about the purpose of building the second Stonehenge was that it was a building project to unite the people from across England, or Britain, or what's the difference, really? There was also a settlement near the monument that was also analyzed, and evidence suggests that thousands of people traveled to this site from as far as Scotland, and they brought their livestock and their families. And they brought them during solstices, so it might have been some kind of religious or spiritual thing, but it also might have been to celebrate the harvest or something like that. And the people that helped build the Stonehenge, they actually didn't work on it for very long at a time. They just worked on it seasonally. So while they were there for solstices, they might have worked on it, and they worked on it over a period of 10 years, and they don't really have the technology that we have today, so can you imagine trying to get those stones on top of the other stones? It would just be a big pain. That's it for this time. I hope you were enlightened by this video. There will be some other theories about the Stonehenge to come, and there will be music in the background of those. So thanks for watching, and just watch. Thank you.